Three defenders ready to tackle Vernon, and he just puts his right foot in the turf, sticks, cuts back, and three guys go flying by him.
Armed with the philosophy of putting the team first, NFL All-Star tight end Vernon Davis is just as compelling and successful in the corporate boardroom as he is on the football field on any given Sunday. I'm Michael Real, and this is RealUrbanNews.com. In our exclusive interview, we discuss how Vernon Davis became the first professional athlete to be traded on Wall Street. We also talk about his extremely successful Jamba Juice franchise. Vernon, you describe yourself as a football player, an artist, an entrepreneur, and a Jamba Juice franchise owner. How challenging is it for you to wear so many big hats?
It is challenging when you get to the point in your life and then like I said, you look back and you be like, wow, I had to go through so much to get to where I am. But as you're going, you don't really realize it because you're so into the moment that you don't really realize how hard it is. And it's actually a good thing that you're that way. And it goes back to my younger days. When I was in high school, when it comes to the game of football, I always looked at myself as if I was in college. And when I was in college, I looked at myself as a professional athlete. And you want to do that because you train your mind and your body to be in a place where you can just excel and outperform everyone. You know, because you're thinking ahead. And just like in everything else, you want to think ahead. You always want to put yourself in that place where you're ahead of everyone else because that's where you have your best days.
When did that light turn on? Your background is duly noted. Had some struggles, like so many of us.
Right.
But when did your light go on and say, hey, I gotta beat these struggles?
I'd say about probably 5 years ago. You know, I was in training camp and I was laying in the bed and I just had this moment to myself where I just started to panic. And I couldn't figure out what it was and why I was going through this thing. And I started to become closer to God and just finding myself. And I realized that life is all about doing the right thing.
You've taken off on the football field and you've also taken off in the business arena. Your relationship with Jamba Juice is clearly unique. How important is that brand to you and your franchise?
I feel like the brand is everything. It's all about creating that brand and developing over time. Like I said, once you do that, then you just have to sustain it. And you do those things by just building. Continue to build and just being positive and showing that you're good. You're good not just in the community, but overall, in general. Okay, we understand the brand, and who's the person that's creating this brand, right? There's always a person behind that brand. Whether it's your personal brand or whether it's something that you created, like the Jamba Juice and the Crave Jerkies and of the world. And it's just, all of those things takes a lot of work.
Walk us through your relationship with Jamba Juice and how that developed.
So Jamba Juice developed when I first arrived in San Francisco. I walked into Jamba Juice back in 2006 and I saw Venus Williams on the poster. I was like, wow, this is actually my realm. This is what I want to do. I'm all about healthy eating, living and acting on a healthy lifestyle. This is what I want to do. This is what I want to be about. So I reached out to Jamba Juice, I cultivated that relationship, and next thing you know, I was opening up one store, then I opened up another, and then another after that, and then all of a sudden, I had multiple Jamba Juices, and I became a business owner. And now I'm starting to create and create, just that brand and that awareness that, hey, it's Jamba Juice, but there's also a brand that I have as well. So I implement that into it, and then we have like a partnership. There's a partnership there.
And how does that work for you?
Once I learn business, I say, okay, I'm learning this, now I can go do other things because I have the understanding. There's understanding there. And with that understanding, hey man, you're able to move mountains.
Clearly you're self-motivated, but I'm sure someone along the way helped you to develop the business perspective. Who did you turn to?
Well, it's all about being able to surround yourself with the right people, right? The right influences the people that already knows.
Like who?
Like the CEOs of the world, the business owner. Then you take people along with you, like my buddy who I became best friends with since college, right? His name's Patrick Powell. You take guys like that, you let them learn as you're learning, and then you have someone that you can trust.
What athlete would you say, a person who played in professional sports like you have and do, or has had the success in the business field that you kind of idolize or look toward for some leadership and guidance?
There's guys like Magic Johnson, who I met with in the past. I went to him because he's one of those guys that's been there, done that. So I felt like I could learn from him. I could really gather some information that could help propel me into a whole nother world of success. And I did that. And it's all about reaching out, humbling yourself, finding that humility where you can go to someone and be like, hey, I need help. I need help. Help me. I need help. So I did that. And where I am today, you know, it's nice to sit here and say that I'm a business owner and I'm still building, and I still have some ways to go, but I'm getting there one step at a time.
You discussed Earvin Magic Johnson, who is literally an icon on the basketball court, and more so for his success in business. You met with him one-on-one. What did you leave with from Magic? What was the takeaway?
That's a good question, because everything I do, I usually relate it to football. When it comes to football, football taught me the importance, the value of my athletic ability, what it can do for you. But meeting with Magic, it taught me the value of my name. Everywhere you go, you always see Magic Johnson Enterprises. His name's always behind it. So that's the one takeaway I got. It really resonated with me, and I take it with me everywhere. That's why I was able to go into Jamba Juice, and I stressed to them the importance of having my name on the storefront, because I learned that from Magic Johnson, and it makes sense. It makes sense. It goes back to creating that brand.
You were the first professional athlete to be traded on Wall Street. That comes with a huge responsibility.
It does. VNDSL. I guess that's my ticker, right? Yeah, it does. It comes with a lot of responsibilities, and it just, for me, like I said, it was a no-brainer for me. It made sense at the time.
The New York Times described your relationship with Fantex as novel. Is that a fair assessment?
You know, my partnership with Fantex is all about building a brand, right? Helping to move things and propel me to the next level. They're a brand building entity, which I sold 10% of my football income as well as future brand income. And someone like Fantex gives me the power I need to be able to continue to open doors and get to where I'm trying to go.
So Jamba Juice has been extremely lucrative, but you haven't stopped there. Your portfolio is equally as impressive. Talk about it.
Yeah, well, of course, there's my brokerage account that I have with the firm, and then I have private equity. I have commercial property in Union Square, downtown San Francisco, which is extremely hard to find.
And extremely expensive.
Oh, extremely expensive. Yes, you're absolutely right. But I have partners with that, so I minimize my risk.
Sure.
I just picked up 4 investment properties in Washington, D.C.
From your perspective, how is the NFL treating its athletes?
I think the NFL does a great job. You know, I don't have anything negative to say about the NFL. I think they have different programs where guys can enroll and get better, from broadcast boot camp to business classes. They have all of those things, but it's up to the players to really delve into it and do it. A few years ago, I took a class, and it was a stocks and bonds class, and I learned about systematic risk versus idiosyncratic risk. Systematic risk is zero to negative correlation, and then the idiosyncratic risk is when things are moving the same, meaning that you want to be more systematic because therefore, you spread your risk out over time, and you want to be that way. But we do know it's all about volatility, changing rapidly for the worst. You want to try to avoid that, those things. But I learned all those things, all those key components, that it takes to really be successful.
When you talk to your colleagues and young men who play professional sports like you, what do you tell them? Coming from these neighborhoods, oftentimes we come from single parent homes, we come from adverse financial situations. You're dropped in a a piggy bank, a high octane lifestyle, high profile lifestyle. What wisdom are you sharing with these young players?
Just quotes, just positive affirmations and positive energy is all that I can give. And just quotes you got a good quote from Gandhi. He said, if you live as if you're going to die tomorrow, learn as if you'll live forever. I love that quote because it makes perfect sense, and that's how we have to approach each day. There's not enough hours in the day, so we have to have a sense of urgency. Get up and act on the things that you want right now. You can't just expect them to come to you. And if you learn as much as you possibly can and continue to read, then you gain all the information that you can take with you and continue to make things move, right? In a good way. And I just share with them everything that I learned along the way. Just everything from minimizing risk. Whenever you go into any deal, you want to start small, anywhere from 50 to 100 to 150,000 to $200,000, right? And if you get someone to partner with you, then you really minimize the risk. Because now you go into it and you break it up, then you won't have the headache. Especially if you have enough over there, then you don't have to worry about if this goes wrong or that goes wrong because you have enough coming in where you're okay, right? So I talk to them about those things and just tell them, I talk to them all the time about being able to cultivate relationships with the people that they can really trust, right? Sure. People that they can trust and grow and continue to learn. When football's here, it's time to play football. Get focused, locked in.
You clearly have a heart of compassion, and it's through your foundation, the Vernon Davis Foundation, that you have been able to share some of that wealth and wisdom with kids who remind you of you. What was that like for you?
It was great. It's great. I started the Vernon Davis Foundation for the Arts to create to promote art appreciation and the importance of art, pretty much. And I envision cities that are vital to social development. That's what it's about to me. Growing up in Washington, D.C., I was afraid to pursue the arts. The environment that I came from, you couldn't really do that because people were always there to criticize you and make fun of you. In order to be the popular kid, you had to play football or basketball. Got into college, University of Maryland. I decided to change my major from criminal justice to art studio my sophomore year. And I didn't look back ever since. Arrived in San Francisco, 2006. Started out the first 2 or 3 years trying to figure out what I wanted to do. Then I created the foundation where I was able to open up an art gallery, Gallery 85 at the time in Santana Row, right there, a venue in San Jose, California. And I was able to bring in kids from off the streets, give them the opportunity to display their art, sell it. At the same time, I was putting money in their pockets, as well as making an impact on the community by the different programs that I was allowed to do within the art gallery, as well as in the schools throughout the Bay Area.
As an artist, what kind of stories do you share on canvas? What's a Vernon Davis canvas like?
I paint from the heart, right? Whatever I'm feeling at the time, I put it all on the canvas. Whether it's my life story or what I'm feeling at the moment. And that's what I've always done. I just always, most people say, wear your heart on your sleeve. For me, it's a place of love, peace, love, joy, patience, and kindness.
As a professional athlete, how are you managing
social media?
Well, it's social media is incorporated into my life. It's my everyday life. It's what I do. It's what I breathe. It's what I eat, and it's how I sleep. It's everything. It has to be that way because if you think of all the people out there that's supporting you in everything that you do, they want to be a part of your life. So you have to give it to them.
You use the word love, not loosely, but you've used it quite a bit in our time shared. What's your relationship with the fans who love you?
I feel like I have a great relationship with fans. And I say that because without the fans, I wouldn't be where I am today. The fans make football. They make everything possible. They're the reason that we play this game.
Before we sat down this afternoon, you had a photo shoot. And it looked really busy, looked real hectic, but you look relaxed. Talk about that.
You just develop over the years and you find yourself. You find yourself and you become more comfortable in everything that you're doing, whether it's acting, art, football, business, whatever it is. You just find that comfort zone, just like in football. That comfort zone is where you want to be, and then you're able to go out and you're able to perform at a high level. And ultimately, that's what you want to do. You want to be able to say that I'm here and I can do this at a high level.
Are you happy?
I'm very happy. I wake up in the morning and the first thing I do is thank God for life. As long as I'm breathing, I'm happy. I have 3 beautiful kids, and it all starts there for me. I want them to look at me and try to do everything that I did and more. I want them to be more.